Good morning. How is everybody?
What's the update?
Update, I've been doing a lot of filler work on Bedbug. Unfortunately, I've got to apologise straight away that you probably noticed there's not been a video this weekend, and it's for good reason. I did actually hurt my back and I was unable to work for a couple of days, but I'm back on it. And so I wanted to release a video yesterday, but due to a technical error, I was unable to actually download the files to make the video. So I'll be doing that later on today. I'll get that video sorted out and hopefully it will be uploaded. Hopefully later on this evening so you guys can watch that. But yeah, sorry about that. I do apologise. A backache has thrown me a couple of days out. So unfortunately this video, the video that I was going to put out on Bedbug is a little bit delayed.
It's strange because it actually got cool and then you hurt your back. You said it was the perfect temperature for the filler.
It was totally the strangest thing. I was going filler mad. I was smashing Bedbug. I was getting on really well. And at the end of one of the evenings last week, my back was a bit sore, which does happen. You know, if you're sanding filler, you do get a bit of a sore back. But as the evening progressed, by the time it got to late night, I couldn't actually bend over to take my socks off without a really sharp pain in my back. So I did try the next day to do a little bit of work, but it just wasn't happening. So I did try and try, but I think what I was doing is I was probably causing more damage than it was worth. So I pretty much took a couple of days off. And it's just weird how it didn't happen while I was sanding, so I don't know whether this has got anything to do with car related stuff. Obviously I do stuff out of work as well, you know, family stuff, and you're always bending and twisting and things like that, and sometimes these things happen, don't they? You just get a little twinge in your back,
and then the little one in and out of the bath, is it?
Yeah, just picking a little one into the bath and kind of twisting every day has probably, yeah, maybe that was the reason. It was one of the reasons that I did hurt my back before.
Yeah, and she's getting heavier now.
She's getting very heavy. So yeah, I can't quite blame the car for my backache or anything. It's just one of those things. But yeah, I do apologise. I don't want you guys sitting there waiting for a video and it didn't come out. I did try my best. It wasn't going to happen. So there we go. Watch it this evening, hopefully.
Yeah, and then should we just do a little video of the car?
As I said, I've been doing a lot of filler work on Bedbug. The last time we left this car, we had the framework welded into position, and that was about it. And what I've already done is I've already fiberglassed over the area from the strip of steel to the body. I fiberglassed over that area, and then I've sanded it back, and then I've applied some body filler, and now it's like one piece. It doesn't have a step in there at all, and it's looking quite nice, but it didn't quite stop there. I've also carried on with the rear quarter panels, the rear of the car, the back of the cab, and these corners as well. So it's really starting to take shape.
It looks good.
So at the moment it does look a bit like a map of the world with all these different colours and shapes, but it's all to do with the layers of filler. I started off with the areas that were previously welded, like these rear vents here. I've keyed up the area first and we've treated it with some resin primer, and then over the top of the welds I've actually applied some fiberglass, and I like bulking things up with fiberglass and not body filler. It's less likely to crack out in the future. So I've gone around the rear vents and around the rear aperture, and as I said, down the sides here. And as well as that, once you're kind of happy with it and you've sanded it back, you can then go on with the next stage, which is quite a heavy filler. Put that on, shape it, sand it, get it kind of right, and then I can go on to the next stage of filler. So at the moment, I'm probably in the middle stage of filler. I haven't quite put the really nice smooth coat of filler on. I'm just trying to get a shape. And as you know, this car was bent and twisted and dented, and with all the repair work that had previously been done and the repair work I've done, the panels weren't quite right. And yes, you could spend ages manipulating the panels and, you know, using a hammer and dolly to make it absolutely perfect. But that will take months, and I don't have months on this job. So the quickest, cheapest option is to use body filler. And unfortunately with Bedbug, it's going to be a lot of body filler, which means there's a lot of work to do. But in the same breath, if you remember when I took the filler off this car, it was insane. It was an inch thick on the roof and down the sides. It was horrific. So although it may look like I put a lot of filler in, it's nowhere near as thick as the filler that came off it. So that's good news. But not only that, the filler has gone on top of good metal. And this is quite important. You remember when we were taking the filler out of Bedbug, it was a rotten mess, and it was pretty obvious that mess of rot was there before, and somebody's just put filler over the top. And as they say, rust never sleeps, and it's kind of kept on creeping, and eventually the filler's fallen out and it just exposed a rotten mess. So we know that the filler has gone on to good metal, and that's really important. And as I said before, treating it with a resin primer or that rust treatment spray beforehand, well, we've done our best to stop it rusting again. And areas that you can't quite get to that were previous, that I did weld, I have been using some zinc spray paint, which is fantastic for keeping the rust out. It does stop rust quite well. So we're doing what we can with what we've got, and so far I think, yeah, it's coming along pretty well. I've still got quite a few hours of putting filler in and shaping it. But once it's got to the point where I'm happy that it's relatively straight and it's all prepped, and then we can get on with the primer. So it is quite exciting, but it's taken a long time just to get to this stage.
I've got someone, it says his username is oldvwguy69, but I feel a bit bad to say old.
VW guy.
Yeah, VW guy.
VW guy, yeah. Good morning.
Bedbug is looking good. I'm watching from Arizona.
Oh, great. We love that. And I love the idea how this tiny little channel somehow ended up in Japan. Is got an audience from all over the world. And, you know, I must thank modern technology for that.
Not your tablet, though.
No, not with the video editing. As I said, I had a bit of a technical area. The files didn't transfer. So technology can be good. But sometimes when it goes wrong, it's a headache.
Yeah.
It really is a headache. And, you know, I tried so hard to get the video edited and put out there, but I had no files as they were still transferring. It just took too long. So, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Technology is great to keep, you know, to connect with people all over the world, but sometimes it does fail.
Yeah. And
it's just so frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all about upgrading things bit by bit, isn't it?
Yeah, this channel is not only are the vehicles on this channel built on a mega budget, the actual equipment we're using is extremely budget. We have just got the bare bones. You will notice that this channel is extremely raw. We don't have expensive cameras or anything like that. We don't have expensive editing software. Eventually we will get better. I mean, I know I do need a microphone, I've been told many times, and that's something that I'd like to invest in. And although I'd like to keep this channel still raw and very realistic, I think it's good to have decent audio as well, just to make it easier to watch. But that's to come. And yeah, at the moment it's budget gear, filming budget jobs, and I think a lot of people appreciate that.
Yeah, but it also takes a lot of planning, doesn't it? With your, because it takes about, what, 15 hours to put the files onto the tablet?
Yeah, with the amount of files, when you're watching one of these videos, it looks like things are done very, very fast. Some of those clips you're watching with me welding or sanding or grinding or whatever can be sped up to 10 times faster, and I'm only using a small snippet. So if you imagine these files, a whole bunch of them, and there's going to be 150 to 200 files, really small ones, and I'm using a very, very cheap tablet, it is really struggling with it. And I don't have the computer know-how to use the really good editing software on, say, a laptop, so I'm using an app on a tablet, which seems to work absolutely fine for what I'm doing, but I'm limited to what the tablet can do. So I'm limited to 2K resolution and not 4K. So eventually I'd like to upgrade the tablet so I can give you 4K videos and also maybe a microphone so it'd be easier to watch, but I still want to keep the channel raw and realistic. I hope that kind of makes sense. We're not going to ham it up and not show you everything. Everything I've done, you guys know about, and I think that's really important, especially if you're building a car as wrecked as Bedbug. You know, these things might help you. It may make people cringe, may rock the boat a bit, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? Everyone's entitled to their opinions, and I think that something like that is good.
There's a lot of love for Bedbug out there. I can't say Bedbug today. Bedbug.
Bedbug.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole project with Bedbug, it surprised me. I knew from the very start, as I mentioned in one, I think it was the first videos, that it's a Marmite car. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And I thought it would be a bit of a 50-50. I really thought that a lot of people would be, you can't chop and overlap, it's sacrilege. And, you know, the rear end of that... Oh, is it?
I'm so sorry. The phone overheated and we've just put it on next to the cooler and cooled it down. It's strange because it's been a lot hotter in here, but sorry about that. What were you saying before?
What I was saying is how technology can be really great and sometimes it just lets you down, and that's just totally ironic that we're doing a live and then the phone overheats and decides to, well, cut the video off. So
it was really, really hot.
Yeah, the phone was really hot, but today the temperature isn't so hot in the workshop. I mean, we're 33.5 degrees today, which it may sound warm, but it has been so hot recently. But apparently the weather is going to start getting cooler according to our friend Google. So that should really help, especially with the Bedbug project as well. With the amount of bodywork I've got to do, the filler is, as I'm mixing the filler, even though I'm using a reduced amount of hardener, it's going off really quick. So I'm having to apply the filler really fast. I mean, in its defense, it means that I can start sanding almost straight away, but having to work that fast, you just don't have enough time to lay it on as nice. But at the moment, it's just rough filler work, so I'm not too worried about that. It is all about just getting it on the panel and getting it shaped, and then you can leave all the pretty stuff to the last coat of filler. But yeah, is that crazy?
The neighbour did actually say in the olden days, from this week, it should cool down. It should kind of change to the autumn season. It's called Ohigan. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I don't know.
The season changes, but he said this year it might be a bit different because it's been so hot, and they think that the temperature's going to drop quite rapidly, almost go from summer to winter. So that's going to be another problem for you there.
Yeah, if you know about Japan's weather, you'll know that the summer is insane heat, massive amount of humidity. It can be unbearable even for people that are native to this country. But the winters are also something else. The temperature it does get very cold. But luckily for us, we're from the UK, so dealing with cold temperatures and maybe that miserable rainy day isn't so much of a drama for us.
Garth says, Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Have you been to Japan before, Garth? Yeah, so hopefully it's just going to be a lot of adjustments, isn't it? If it drops really quickly, you're going to have to find a new method for your filler.
Yeah, I'm kind of I want to paint this project in the workshop, and I will need a couple of really nice days. And it's weird. You don't want it too hot. You don't want it too cold. You certainly don't want it too humid. So I'm kind of hoping that it'll be the perfect weather by the time it gets to applying the top coat of paint. I've never been really that fussy with the weather when it comes to applying primer. Whether it's too hot or too cold, I adjust the hardener and the thinners accordingly, but it's the humidity that I don't like, the moisture that's in the air. You don't really want to be adding any type of moisture or water or anything like that into your primer stage. because once it's in there, it's kind of locked in there, and if you put a top coat, you can get micro blisters appearing into the top coat. So that's pretty important that the humidity's kind of right. I want it to be nice and dry, relatively warm.
Garth says, no, but learning Japanese with my granddaughter and I thought it's polite. Oh,
Wow,
that's nice.
It is uber polite, yeah.
How did your granddaughter get into learning Japanese? Oh, dragonfly. Yeah, everyone's got different reasons for learning Japanese, haven't they?
Yeah,
I'm just going to say sorry now because I can feel my phone getting hot again.
Oh, not again.
So
I mean,
it
you
might
could try
cut out
putting
again.
You could try putting it next to the cooler, but it might be.
I think it'll be noisy,
be too noisy.
maybe.
Maybe I'll point the cooler to you then.
So we went to a really nice festival this weekend, didn't we? It's probably the most unusual one.
Yeah, it was.
And-
It was a bit of an oddball, this one.
And our daughter, she said it was her favourite one so far, but it was basically full of men with their tops off, drawing lots of different shapes, different characters on their tummies and dancing.
Yeah.
It was quite nice because all the men were different shapes and sizes, and they didn't seem to care. They were all dancing along the street, and there was one drunk one who seemed to almost accidentally join the orchestra, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. I don't think he knew what he was doing. But the great thing is, as I mentioned before, you'll go to these festivals and there'll be happy drunks, and these guys have been drinking all day, but they don't mean any harm. Everyone's having fun, and it was hilarious, wasn't it? It was just a bit of a giggle, and that was the Heso Matsuri.
Heso Matsuri.
Yeah, belly button festival. Of all things, and
I think in the song, the traditional song for that area was saying "Get your belly button out," wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I explained before, Shibukawa is the heart of Japan. It's the center of Japan, so they call it Japan's belly button. So when we were driving into Shibukawa, there was a sign saying "Welcome to the center of Japan."
That's right. Yeah, the center of Japan, the belly button of Japan.
Yeah.
So why not have a festival to celebrate that with your belly button out?
Yeah. Why not, eh?
Why not?
Garth says she loves languages and is a very good student.
Oh, that's great.
She might be one of those people who just picks up languages maybe and just enjoys it.
Oh,
Well, I think me and you struggle a bit, don't we?
Yeah, I've always struggled with languages. I was kind of hoping spending some time in Japan, what I did know, I was hoping that it would kind of get better, but unfortunately it's kind of gone a bit stagnant as I don't really go out and I don't communicate with people. And, I'm in the workshop, I'm by myself, not really learning any Japanese at all. So, hopefully in the future I'll get more out and about and I'll be able to speak to more people and communicate, and then I'm sure my language will gradually get better. So
You've definitely got the basics there. I think it's just...
Yeah, I do find that I used to know a lot more. It sounds weird. It feels that a lot of the stuff that I've learned over the years is kind of, I can't remember, I can't recall it quick enough.
It will come as you
Yeah,
see.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it will. It will come back.
It actually feels really nice. I mean, for me, although I can speak a bit of Japanese, if I see a sentence I can read, it feels so good.
Yeah,
'cause
it's satisfying.
it's just such a complicated language, but
Yeah, definitely.
I've just bought the N4 book, which is it JLPT?
Yeah, JLPTN4.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and do that. I don't know, Garth, if your granddaughter is doing the JLPT thing. It's really important if you ever want to work in Japan. A lot of the jobs advertise what level of JLPT, so it goes from N5 to N1. So I've just bought N4. Really, I should be a bit better than that because I've got a degree in Japanese.
Yeah.
But I was looking at N4 and I was just like, I can't read it. I don't know if it's because I did my studies such a long time ago, and I just almost need to start from the beginning again. So I'm actually looking forward to that. And I've just bought a book that's recommended on ChatGPT, so let's see what happens.
Okay.
I didn't know what to get, so I just said which one's a good one. So yeah,
Yeah.
it said within 6 weeks, I think 15 minutes a day.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you can spare that kind of time, that'd be great. It is important. I think if you're coming over here to work, you'd certainly need some kind of. I think it's level 3 thereafter, and to give you an idea, the N5 level is very basic kanji, and there's a little bit of reading, and I think it's a lot of like multiple choice. And when I was learning Japanese, a lot of people in my group, probably been studying for a couple of years, they took this test and they passed. I didn't take the test. I have a phobia. I'm really bad with tests. I can study and study, and I think I've got it nailed. And if I go to a test, I just crumble. I'd forget everything, and I did get a bit scared. So I kind of just made up excuses. The teacher said, that's fine. You don't have to do it. So I kind of skipped that. And by the time we left to go to Japan a couple of years later, a lot of people in the group had done N4 as well. So it gave me an idea of what level I should be at. But what I found is that with these kind of tests, the other students were studying to pass the test, if that makes sense. They were putting all their time and effort into learning what they needed to do to pass the test.
It's a bit like a driving test, isn't it?
It's a bit like a driving test. You are learning all these things to learn how to pass the test. Doesn't necessarily mean in the real world when you take the L plates off, things get a bit scary, and it's real. And I think that's what it is. You are studying to pass a test, so just bear that in mind.
Yeah, I'm going to try and... The good thing is, if you do come out here and you haven't done the JLPT exams, you can actually take them in Japan. So they have them sent as different places around Japan. So if you come out here and you think, oh no, I should have done that, you still got the opportunity to go and take it here. I think they held twice a year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think in the UK it's something like that. But,
yeah.
Something that I don't know. I don't know if this is a thing or not. That if you take it in the UK, I'm guessing that it could have some English on the paperwork, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Or is it all in Japanese? Maybe the instructions are in English and in Japanese. I'm not sure. But in Japan, it's going to all be in Japanese, isn't it?
Probably. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think if you've got the basics down, you're probably going to be okay. But if you just go in there blind, you may have a bit of a problem.
Do they do speaking as part of the JLPT?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I think there's a lot of listening, and there's a bit of multiple choice. There's a bit of kanji in there. I started to study for it, and as I said before, I struggled to study, and it was also difficult for me at the time to find the time to do it.
I think after we had our daughter, it was really difficult, wasn't it?
Yeah, the time once you start family, the time that you did have has gone, and the time that you do have is very small amounts of it, and it's pretty precious. You got to kind of spread it about and get other stuff done.
And you're just exhausted as well, aren't you?
Yeah, you're just absolutely wiped out. It gets very difficult, doesn't it?
Yeah,
very full on.
Things are a bit easier now when she's in a good mood. Do you want to just go outside for a sec, because the phone is really hot again?
Yeah.
So it's a bit cooler out here. I don't want the phone to overheat again. So yeah, that's about Japanese studies. So what's your next steps for the Bedbug?
The next steps in the Bedbug is we're going to have to carry on doing the filler work. Most of the welding repairs are done now, to be honest. There's a couple of little bits and pieces, but they're not really anything that I'd consider large jobs. I think we pretty much covered it all, and what I really need to do is concentrate on just getting it right, getting the bodywork nice and straight, and thinking about the primer stage. And
I can't wait. I'm so excited to see it.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting once it's in primer.
Yeah.
Just in all one colour, and like a matte grey colour. It seems that all cars look good in primer. I don't know what all that's about.
I think I won't go in there. I'll just see it.
Have it as a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. I think that would be the best thing.
Yeah.
just for anyone who's traveling to Japan in the next month or so, I've put in the description, there's a festival in Kawagoe, but there's also another festival in Isesaki, which is in Gunma, where we are. But I found another one which is at the beginning of October in Maebashi. So all the people who couldn't travel to Japan due to the heat and maybe think they've missed out on festivals, there's still a chance to catch some. So it's still a really good time to come in October. I do hope it's going to cool down a bit.
Yeah, it does tend to get a bit cooler, but it does bring some showers, some little. You
Yeah, they usually have to put some
it's-
plastic around the floats, don't they?
Yeah, you just 1 minute's okay, next minute's raining. It's very kind of the weather's a little bit
Yeah,
messed
but
up,
at least
isn't
it's
it?
not
But
hot.
yeah, yeah.
Garth says, has the colour been chosen yet, and the interior?
Yeah, the colour has kind of been chosen. The customer is thinking of painting the whole thing black, a solid black colour. And as I mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of black. I love the way black cars look, but from a bodywork side of things, it is pretty difficult. Any imperfections, any dents, will be seen straight away in the reflection. You know, if you don't get everything super straight as a die, you will end up with ripples down the side of the car. So painting something like a black color is going to be a big challenge with something that is so bad. But the front half, the oval part of the Beetle was originally black when it left the factory, so I do like that. I do like the idea that it's
original.
almost going back to its
Yeah.
original colour. But yeah, that's what he's thinking. As for the interior, I'm not entirely sure. I thought it was going to have carpet to start with, and that has actually changed. He wants to make it a very kind of basic looking model inside, so I think it's going to have more like rubber mats on the floor area, which yet again brings another problem, is that I've got to now bodywork the heater channels and underneath the dash, because all that will be exposed now, which I thought would get covered in carpet, so it's a little bit more work there. The roof panels, I think he's actually going to make his own panels, and hopefully in the back of the cab area as well, I'd like him to make some kind of finished panel. And as for seat covers, no idea, or even seats. I mean, I've got those old seats that came out with, they're trashed, they will need to be reupholstered, and I don't know which way he's going. He might go custom, or he might go original, so it'd be interesting to see what he decides on that. But at the moment, I'm not trying to worry about those kind of things, and maybe that's something that the customer wants to do himself as well, so yeah, I would like him to get involved on this one.
Yeah, it's he seems really excited about it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's quite a character. He's a lovely guy, and he's super excited about this project
And cars in general. He's got so many ideas, I think, and he's so good at drawing them, and
yeah,
he's just very creative.
It's very rare that you meet somebody that's so passionate about cars. You know, it's nice, but it seems to be all cars. He does everything classic, but he just has this. It's almost as if he doesn't like a particular model. He just likes something inside him. It's like a custom one, or that is cool, or he's got such a mixed bag. Everything from old Citroens to Fords to Volkswagens. He is just a passionate car person. He doesn't stick to any particular brand, which is nice. It really is.
Asiatic says, when can we meet Dr. X? I don't know if he's talking about...
Well, I'm assuming that is the owner of this
Yeah.
car. Hopefully pretty soon. What I'll do is I'll run this past him, obviously. I'll get the car into primer, get it nice and straight. Once the car's into primer, it's not the end of the world if you have to change something at that point. It's just a case of just tweaking it and repriming that little area. So what I'll do is I'll try and get him in, and he can have a look at the car in primer before it gets hit with the paint, and I think that'd be quite nice, just to get his his
Yeah.
opinion on the car, because he has not seen this. He's been watching the videos, so he knows how well this is progressing, but he's not come and seen the car. So it'd be really interesting to see what he thinks. He knew how bad this was to start with.
I think it's always better to see something like this in person. I don't think for photos and videos really
Photos
do
and
justice.
videos, you know, they are good, but you really can't see just how much work has gone into it. I mean, I've tried my best to show you guys everything that I've done, but sometimes you just can't get it across in a video or photo. So yeah, maybe he's the same, seeing it in the flesh, and
Yeah.
we'll see what he says.
I think we just do a few more minutes because I don't know what's going on with my phone today, but it's really hot. This is a completely different topic, but I'm just looking at those plants above your head. So we threw a load of wild seeds in there, and these started to grow, and we're not sure if they're weeds or not, and we didn't want to ask anyone.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got really nice gardens around here, and ours is a little bit needs a little bit of TLC, shall we say?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so I think we were growing weeds. We were watering them and everything, but nothing happened. No flowers, nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if it was coincidence that we planted some seeds to have some beautiful flowers, and we grew some beautiful weeds.
Neither of us know much about
Which,
gardening.
to be honest,
so.
we have got plenty of weeds here. The people locally, they're always out with their petrol strimmers, like weed whacking everything. It just grows and grows and grows during the summer. It's just hard to keep on top of it. And we could do a load of weeding, rip out a load of stuff, and then a week later it's just come back.
Yeah, but those ones we were like, let's keep it because it's going to flower.
Yeah, we thought it'd be nice just to put a bit of colour next to the workshop, but if you like the colour green or wilted and brown, I mean, beautiful, but yeah, to have some nice pretty flowers, it didn't quite work out that
I'm
way,
sure the
did it?
neighbours are like, why are they growing weeds?
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are interesting, aren't they?
Maybe
you know,
maybe in
flowers,
the UK it's a real plant, but over here it's a weed.
Yeah. And it might have been my fault though. I did go to the I went to the the hardware store, and I found a packet of seeds, and it translated as wildflowers.
Yeah, but the packet had loads of flowers on it, and then we got 2 flowers, and then all of these, whatever they are, I don't know.
It just yeah, that just didn't work out very well. So hopefully we'll rip them out and start again.
Yeah,
Perhaps do a gardening YouTube show on how not to garden.
Yeah. What not to grow.
What not to grow, and yeah.
Okay, so
We
I
haven't
think
really got green fingers, have we?
no. Should we end it there because I don't want it to go off again?
Yeah, I think so. It's nice to have a catch up with everybody.
Yeah,
and,
thank you everyone for joining us.
Giving people an update. As I said, third time, I do apologise that this video is a bit late, and I'm going to get cracking on with it now actually, and let's see if we can get it uploaded today.
Later today or tomorrow.
Later today. Yeah. Providing the technology doesn't fail me again. I mean, this morning we've already had a technology failure, so it's just ironic, isn't it?
Well, everyone, hope you have a good day or good night or good afternoon wherever you are.
Yeah, have a fantastic day or evening or whatever you're doing. And yeah, we'll speak to you guys next time. Hopefully we'll do a live next week, and I'll get this video sorted for today, and I'll also start doing a video for this weekend. Fingers crossed. So yeah, exciting times.
Yeah.
See you
Take
guys
care,
next time.
everyone.
Cheers.
Bye. Cheers.